We are all running two clocks. The first one is on the wall. It's loud, obvious, and we watch it all day. The second clock is silent. It measures not time but energy, vitality, the number of good days you have left to truly live. And that is the clock that matters. The great lie we tell ourselves is that our things are just things. They are not. Every object you own that does not serve your life today is a thief, silently stealing minutes from that second precious clock. We think we own our possessions, but after a certain age, they begin to own us. They become anchors, holding us in a past that no longer exists, weighing down the ship we need to sail into our remaining years. Today, we're not talking about cleaning or organizing in the way you think. We're talking about mutiny. We are talking about getting your time, your energy, your very life back from these silent thieves hiding in plain sight. In the back of my closet, there is a leather briefcase from 1982. The hide is a deep oxblood red, softened by years of use. The brass latches still give a satisfying, solid click when they close. I can still smell the faint scent of old paper and, if I really try, the ghost of ambition. I carried that case through rainstorms in Chicago and boardrooms in New York. It held proposals that changed my life. Now it holds nothing but dust and a fine film of regret. My shoulder screams if I even think about carrying its weight. The man who needed that briefcase, who had the strength and the purpose for it, he's gone. I am not him, and keeping this beautiful object doesn't bring him back. It only serves as a daily silent reminder that my body and my life have changed. It is a beautifully crafted monument to a man I used to be, and it's a heavy stone to carry into the future. It's a ghost. That briefcase is your wedding dress that no longer fits. It's the set of golf clubs in the garage since the hip replacement. It's the box of your children's school reports from a lifetime ago. We call them mementos, but they are not. They are ghosts of potential, ghosts of a life we once had, or a life we thought we would have. They whisper to you in the quiet of the house, not of happy memories, but of time's relentless victory. They turn you from the protagonist of your own life into the quiet, tired curator of a life that has already been lived. I am telling you this now with the urgency of a man who has wasted decades learning this lesson so that you don't have to. You don't have the time to be as foolish as I was, so listen carefully to what I am about to say, because it might just save you from drowning in the ghosts of your own home. My friend David's father, Frank, passed away in the autumn of 2018. Frank was a man built of quiet pride and calloused hands, a mechanic who believed there was nothing on earth that couldn't be fixed with the right tool and enough patience. For 15 years, his garage had been his kingdom, the one place where the chaos of the world submitted to his order. After he died, his wife Helen refused to let anyone touch it. The tools lay exactly where Frank had left them, gathering a fine layer of dust that seemed almost sacred, catching the afternoon light in a way that made the air feel thick with memory. The space still held a faint, sharp smell of motor oil and old wood. "It's all I have left of him," she would whisper, her voice tight, as if defending a holy site. But we both knew she was defending a tomb, and she was its lonely, tired warden, trapped by her own devotion to a ghost. The problem with a tomb is that it doesn't stay pristine forever. Time, indifferent to grief, began its slow work of dismantlement. By the spring of 2020, the garage roof had started to leak, a slow, patient drip that landed squarely on the corner of Frank's magnificent oak workbench. A dark, ugly stain began to spread across the wood he had so carefully oiled and maintained. The smell of oil was now tainted with the sour scent of damp and creeping mildew. The garage was no longer a place of comfort for Helen. It became a source of low, constant anxiety. Just looking at the door handle made her shoulders ache. The kingdom had become a prison, the sacred tools not symbols of Frank's capability, but silent accusers marking her own inaction. The weight of it all was making her older, faster than the calendar ever could. The space wasn't preserving his memory, it was actively rotting it away. Then one Saturday afternoon in 2021, a little bit of life forced its way in. Her grandson, Leo, a lanky teenager with more enthusiasm than skill, was in the driveway trying to fix his bicycle chain. He was struggling with a cheap, flimsy wrench from some pre-packaged kit, the kind of tool designed to fail. I watched from the porch as his knuckles got scraped raw, the wrench slipping again and again with a sickening metallic screech. Helen stood at the kitchen window, her face a mask of worry and helplessness, watching the boy fight a losing battle. She saw Frank in him for a moment, not in his face, but in his frustration, in the stubborn refusal to give up. After a long, quiet moment where the only sound was the chirping of birds and Leo's muttered curses, she turned away from the window, her decision made. She moved, not with sadness, but with a sudden, startling clarity. Her steps were slow as she walked to the garage, the sound of her shoes on the concrete echoing in the dusty silence. She didn't hesitate. Her hand went directly to the wall where the wrenches hung in a perfect descending row. She picked up one of Frank's heavy, perfectly balanced wrenches, a 70s-era Craftsman forged from American steel, its grip worn smooth by her husband's hand. She felt its familiar, comforting weight, a solid piece of his life in her palm. She walked out into the sunlight and handed it to the boy without a word. The look on his face wasn't just gratitude, it was pure awe. He held it like it was King Arthur's sword. In that single, silent exchange, Helen finally understood. The tool clicked perfectly onto the bolt, and with one easy turn, the job was done. The problem was solved. In that moment, Helen wasn't erasing Frank. She was letting his spirit live on. She realized his true legacy wasn't the tool collecting dust on a wall. It was the knowledge, the function, the simple and profound act of helping. The wrench wasn't a static memory to be guarded. It was a living instrument meant to solve problems, meant to be used, meant to pass from one generation's hands to the next. The garage stopped being a tomb that day. It slowly became a resource, a workshop, a place where things were fixed again. The heavy air of preservation was replaced by the breeze of purpose. Helen had been the curator of a museum dedicated to a dead man. By letting go, she finally allowed his life and her own to continue. She learned the hardest lesson. Honoring the dead doesn't mean turning your home into their memorial. It means using the best of what they left you to fully engage with the living. Helen's garage wasn't just a garage. It was a room in her mind, a room filled with grief, obligation, and the heavy dust of the past. Your house is the same. It is the physical architecture of your mind, and every object that doesn't serve your life today is a squatter in your mental space. That spare bedroom isn't empty. It's haunted. It's haunted by the ghost of the person you were when you decorated it, or by the ghost of the child who has long since grown up and moved away. The stack of magazines from 2007 is the ghost of an interest you no longer have. These are not benign memories. They are demanding tenants. They require dusting, storing, and worrying about. Every time you look at them, they pull you back into a conversation with a life that is over, draining the energy you need to live the one you have right now. You are living with ghosts, and it is making you tired, soul tired. We have been sold a terrible lie for our entire lives, that our worth is measured by what we accumulate, that a full house is a successful house. It's a lie created to sell us things we do not need. You are not the sum of your possessions. You are the sum of your experiences, your wisdom, your love. Your identity is not in your mother's china or the suit that's been in the closet since 1998. The great work of this chapter of life is not acquisition, it is liberation. Creating empty space in your home is not an act of loss, it is an act of profound creation. An empty drawer is not a void, it's a breath. An empty room is not loneliness, it is possibility. It is the quiet canvas you need to paint the next, perhaps most important part of your life. You have spent a lifetime curating for others. It is time to create space for yourself. So let's talk about the thieves. Let's give them names and drag them out into the light so you can see them for what they are. The first, and perhaps the most cruel, is the ghost of the body you once had. He lives in your closet. He takes the form of someday clothes, that beautiful dress, 2 sizes too small, hanging there like a silent judgment. That suit from your peak professional years, its shoulders now too tight to bear. Keeping them is not an act of hope. It's an act of quiet daily cruelty to your present self. Every time you see them, they are a physical reminder of a body you no longer have, a life you no longer live. It's a daily confrontation with loss. Letting them go is not admitting defeat. It is making peace with the strong, wise, and resilient person you are today. It's choosing to love the body that has carried you this far, not punish it for changing. The next thief works in pairs. I call them the ghosts of other people's dreams. They look like your late husband's golf clubs rusting in the garage, or your mother's untouched knitting supplies, the yarn slowly being eaten by moths. You are keeping these things out of a sense of duty, a feeling that getting rid of them would be a betrayal of their memory. This is a noble mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. You are not the archivist of another person's unfulfilled life. You are the protagonist of your own. Honoring their memory is not about turning your home into a shrine of their static hobbies. Honor them by giving those items to someone who can turn them from relics into action, from dust into joy. Let a young person learn to knit with your mother's needles. Let a new golfer feel the thrill of the game. That is how you keep their spirit alive, not by guarding their ghosts. Then we have the tyrant of the cabinet, the good china. The silverware you've used 3 times in 40 years, saved for a special occasion that never seems to arrive. My mother, Gloria, had a set like this. Wedgwood. It sat behind glass, a museum piece in her own dining room. After she was gone, we found it, pristine and unused. The special occasions had come and gone. Birthdays, anniversaries, the return of a child from overseas. They were all deemed not quite special enough. I'm telling you now, the purpose of beautiful things is to be used. Their beauty is realized in the service of life, not in preservation. That clink of real silver, the feel of fine china, that is joy. If you are saving it, know that today, this day you are alive and breathing, is the special occasion. Use it for a Tuesday dinner. Use it for a slice of toast. Use it or lose it, because time will make that choice for you. Let's move on to the stacks, the ghost of expired information. This ghost hides in piles of old magazines, newspapers from 1997, and boxes of obsolete media. The VHS tapes of a wedding, the cassette tapes of your favorite songs, the floppy disks holding God knows what. We keep them because we believe the memory is somehow trapped inside the plastic casing. It is not. The memory is in you. It is in your heart and in your mind, and no crumbling piece of plastic can hold a candle to the power of your own recollection. Holding on to this expired technology is like saving a key for a car that was scrapped a decade ago. It serves no function. You are not a library of old news or a museum of dead formats. The world has moved on, and you must give yourself permission to move with it. Your home is for living, not for storing the past. Now look around your room, I mean it. Pause this and look. See that wobbly chair you've been meaning to fix for 3 years? That is a monument to procrastination. It's not an asset waiting to be repaired. It's a physical object that radiates guilt every time you look at it. It whispers, you failed, you didn't finish. Now do this exercise with me. Look at your closets, your drawers, the shelves in your garage. Ask yourself this question about every single one of those someday or just in case items. Does this object help me grow into the person I want to be for my remaining years, or does it keep me chained to a person I no longer am? Does it give me energy, or does it demand it from me? Be brutally honest. You are not discarding an object. You are deciding whether to keep carrying a heavy stone in your pocket for the rest of the journey. Let's go to the kitchen, to the pantry. Here lives the ghost of scarcity. It looks like spices from 1998, canned goods of unknown origin, and that fancy jar of jam that's been there so long its label has faded. You're keeping it out of a deep-seated fear of not having enough, a fear likely programmed into you by parents who lived through leaner times. But that time is not now. Your body is a temple, not a proving ground for botulism. Keeping expired food is a symptom of a mindset that no longer serves your reality. It is a belief in lack, not abundance. Thank the item for the security it once represented, and then let it go. Fill that space with freshness, with things that will nourish the body you have today. It is a profound act of self-respect. It is telling yourself, I am worthy of good, fresh food. I am safe. Now for the silent accumulators, the things that breed in the dark of our closets and drawers. I'm talking about the excess. The 30-year-old towels, frayed and stained, that you keep just in case. The branded mug you got from the bank, the free tote bag from a conference. These items are squatters in your home. They have no emotional connection, no story, no love. They are taking up valuable real estate in your life without paying any rent in the form of joy or function. They are simply a buffer against a fear that will likely never materialize. You only need enough linens for a cycle of use and laundry. Give the rest to an animal shelter where they can provide real comfort. Evict the promotional junk. They are not yours. You didn't choose them. They are simply hitchhikers you forgot to drop off. This is not just a list of things to throw away. Do you see? Each one of these categories represents a decision to choose the present over the past, a decision to choose freedom over obligation, a decision to choose your own peace of mind over the perceived sentimental value of an object that is, in reality, just a weight. This is not about having a perfectly tidy home. I don't care if your house looks like a magazine. I care if your soul feels light. I care if you have the energy to walk out your front door and live. This work is difficult. It forces you to confront your own mortality, your choices, your changing identity. So let's make this a circle of wisdom, not a lonely task. Tell me, in the comments below which of these ghosts is the hardest for you to let go of. The clothes, the books, the tools of a loved one. Let's face these thieves together. The cost of ignoring this is not a messy house. It's a slow, creeping erosion of your final years of freedom. Let me be brutally honest. Your body will not get stronger. Your balance will not improve on its own. Your home is now an environment that must serve your body, not the other way around. Every box on the floor is a potential broken hip. Every overstuffed closet is a fall waiting to happen when you reach for something on a high shelf. You think the struggle is just mental, a feeling of being overwhelmed, but it is becoming physical. Soon, the weight of your possessions will literally crush your ability to move freely and safely in your own space. And then what? You become a prisoner. Your world shrinks from the neighborhood to the house to a single chair because navigating the rest has become too dangerous, too exhausting. We plan for financial retirement, but nobody talks about planning for our physical retirement. Your home is your most important retirement asset. Is yours working for you or against you? And then there is the greater consequence, the one that should keep you awake at 3 a.m., the one that Margaret feels. You are inadvertently creating a gut-wrenching job for your children. The moment you are gone, their grief will be immediately and brutally complicated by the enormous, stressful task of sorting through a lifetime of your deferred decisions. They will not be able to mourn you cleanly. Instead, they will be forced to become project managers of your estate. Every single item they pick up, from a chipped mug to your old letters, will be a painful choice. Would Mom want me to keep this? Does this have value? Am I a bad son if I throw this away? You will not be leaving them memories of love. You will be leaving them thousands of questions laced with guilt and obligation, turning your home from a sanctuary of their childhood into a project of pure, exhausting burden. Your final act on this earth will be to give them a terrible job. And this brings us to the greatest thief of all. He doesn't sneak in through a window. He lives inside your head. His name is Someday. He is the most dangerous con artist in the world, and his favorite victims are people who have more yesterdays than tomorrows. I'll use the good china someday. I'll wear that dress someday. I'll take that trip someday. Every time you say it, you are writing a check from a bank account you don't control, the bank of time. Someday is a fantasy, a mirage in the desert that keeps you walking toward nothing while you die of thirst in the present. It feels like a promise, but it's a prison. It's the excuse you use to postpone joy, to defer life. While you wait patiently for this mythical someday to arrive, the real days, the Tuesdays, the Fridays, the precious ordinary todays are being stolen from you one by one forever. The theft is subtle. It's a crime of 1,000 tiny cuts. Every object you are saving for someday is an unfinished loop in your mind. It's a decision deferred, a task waiting, a tiny bit of mental energy that gets siphoned off every time your eyes pass over it. It's the box of art supplies that silently mocks your arthritic hands. It's the travel guide for a country you are no longer physically able to visit. Someday convinces you that these are assets for a future life, but they are not. They are anchors in your present one. You think you are preparing your ship for a grand voyage, but you've loaded it with so much just-in-case cargo that it's too heavy to even leave the dock. You are not preparing for the future. You are sacrificing the present at the altar of a fantasy. The weight of someday is crushing your right now. Let me tell you the truth someday doesn't want you to hear. The only time you own is now. This breath, the feeling of the sun on your skin through the window, the taste of your morning tea. These things are real. That dusty box in the attic is not. You are trading tangible, guaranteed moments of peace and life for the imaginary value of an object you may never use. You are choosing the ghost over the living person. You are choosing the possibility of a grand party over the certainty of a calm afternoon. This is a bad trade. It is a losing game. The only way to win is to stop playing. You must fire this thief. You must look him in the eye and say no more. The special occasion is today. The person worth celebrating is you, as you are right now. You must declare war on someday, because it is actively, silently robbing you of the only thing you have left that truly matters, your time. So here is your homework. It is not to tackle the garage or the attic. It is a simple 15-minute task that begins now. Set a timer on your phone. Go to your front hall closet, the entryway to your home and your life. Find every single coat, shoe, scarf, and umbrella that you have not worn or used in the last full year. Do not debate. Do not reminisce. When the timer rings, you stop. Just gather them, put them in a bag or a box, and without another thought, put that box in the trunk of your car. That is all. You have just reclaimed the entrance to your home. You have created space not just in a closet, but for new energy to enter your life. You have proven to yourself that you are still the one in charge, the one who decides what stays. You have taken the first, most difficult step. You just sent the first ghost packing, and you are still standing a little bit lighter than you were 15 minutes ago. Now for part 2, take out a real piece of paper. I'm serious. Do it right now. Draw a line down the middle. On the left side, write down 3 things you have been saving for someday. The good china, a phone call to a friend, that book you've been meaning to read. Now on the right side of the line, cross out the word someday and write this week. This is the work we do here. It's not about decluttering. It's about deprocrastinating our joy. If you are ready to learn how to walk lighter, to stop being a curator for the past and start being the architect of your present, subscribe to the channel. Consider it a pact with yourself, a promise to stop deferring your own life. You have earned this peace. You have earned this lightness. Now go live your life. I will see you in the next one.